Welcome to week 33 of our prayer journey. This week, we're going to ask God to do something in our hearts that can be a little difficult for some of us, even a little painful. We're going to ask God to make us generous givers. Now, of course, most of us are familiar with the idea of tithing, which is biblical. It is commanded by the scriptures. It is giving to the local body that we are blessed by. So we give to our local church because we support the work of the Lord going on there in that local church. We want to see that church flourish. After all, we're part of that church. We're part of that local body. So it only makes sense that we should support that ministry. And that's something that we as believers are required to do. We're required to give to our local church. But giving goes beyond the local church. And that goes beyond the tithe or the tenth of what we earn. That goes beyond that tenth of our resources. And so we need to ask God to break the hold that this world has over so many hearts, that hold of materialism, that hold of what's mine is mine and I'm going to keep it and I'm going to use it the way I want to use it for the things I want to use it for. And we need to ask God to make us kingdom-minded so that we will give generously, even to the point of pain. Paul talks about it when he's collecting from the churches around Asia Minor to take an offering back to the Christians in Jerusalem and Israel that are being persecuted. And he talks about this one church that just pours out gifts out of their poverty and how God would bless them for that. And they gave with joy. They weren't like sorrowful about how they gave. They gave with joy, even though they had almost nothing themselves. And they trusted God to meet their needs in spite of their insanely generous giving. What the world would look at and say, well, that's just foolish. You gave money you don't have. But they trusted God. See, they knew that God was going to provide for them. And that's what we want to be like. And so we need to ask God to build that heart in us, that generous heart, so that we will give recklessly to the work of the gospel.